Hi, I'm Missy Beavers. I have a master's degree in nutrition, and I specialize in helping women uncover the blocks to their thyroid that is preventing this beautiful little gland from working optimally. Now, one of the most frustrating symptoms I hear from my clients is the puffiness that can happen in your face when your thyroid is not working well. That's because the thyroid plays a huge role in how fluid is held in these tissues. If your thyroid hormones are underperforming or not reaching the cells, you will have fluid retention here. Under the eyes is one of the big places, and then here along the jawline. So we're left with that constant puffy, tired looking face with a double chin. Not the great look. So today I want to show you some simple things you can do to move that fluid out and give you some tips on ways to improve that thyroid function. Now, you may have tried face yoga or gua sha or had some type of stimulation to the face to help move that fluid out, and maybe you didn't see the progress you wanted. That's because most of these things miss a key step, and it is the thyroid level of the drain of that fluid. So if you are only working on the face, that can help move fluid out of the face. But what most people don't think about is where does that fluid go? It has to drain downward and it has to leave through the heart, which pumps it to the liver and kidneys and exits the body. If you have a thyroid issue, and especially to our sisters that have nodules, cysts, goiters, or swelling in that tissue in the neck, the swelling actually can inhibit the lymph node's ability to move that fluid out. So this is a really important thing that I didn't even know. And I spent a lot of years trying to get fluid out of my face. I would do the things to move the fluid, but it kept getting stuck at this level right here. So today I'm going to show you how to properly move fluid out of your face, down past your thyroid, and into the body so it can actually exit your system for good. So are you ready to learn? Great, let's do it together. So the first thing we want to do is relax. So find a place where you are comfortable. You can be sitting or standing, but I do prefer you are upright to have gravity help us. Sometimes I'll do this in front of the mirror in the morning, or I'll sit here on the floor and do it. First, we're going to breathe. And that's important because our lungs also help push things through the body. So taking a deep breath in through the nose, filling the lungs to capacity, and then out through the mouth. Let's do another one together. I'll often put my hands on my belly to make sure that I'm feeling that inflation. Through my hands, your hands should expand outward as you are breathing in and then breathing out. Do 4 to 5 of those breaths and you'll feel yourself start to calm down. Now we're ready to address that fluid. So in the body, we have something called lymph nodes, and they are all over the body. Their job is to pull toxins and fluids out of tissue and then move it to the heart and circulate it to the lungs, to the liver, to the kidneys, where things are breathed out, things are pooped out, or things are peed out. Essentially, they escort things out of our body. Now, the lymph nodes in the neck are very sensitive to pressure and they can get clogged, like I was saying, if the thyroid is swollen or tender at all. This is where our backup starts. Now, we can't just come in and start pushing fluid here because it has to drain below the collarbone. So we're going to do a very specific order to move this fluid out that's going to work with our bodies and help depuff the face. So the first place is here at the collarbone. These are right under the collarbone. They are called the subclavicle lymph nodes, and they are very, very busy. They get everything that drains from the head and the neck, and they move it towards the heart. So what we're going to do is just brush just along your collarbone gently. This is the same kind of pressure that you would pet a dog or a cat. Just gently stroke here your collarbone. Sometimes I'll do the butterfly and go both ways, or you can do it this way, whatever works best for your movement. So brush here about 10 times. Now we're going to start below the ears and we're going to brush down the neck 10 times. And you're just gently moving that fluid down, not pressing hard. It should just feel like rubbing your hand over your skin. I'm not counting, so I hope you are. Do it about 10 times here. Whenever I do this, I can start to feel some drainage on the back of my throat. That's good. If you feel that, it's a really good clue that we're opening up those sinus pathways. We're helping things flow downward. You can see I'm kind of coming to the front of the neck here. We're just getting the sides and the front. Now we're going to do the Ninja Turtle hands. For those of you that were kids in the 90s like me, maybe you taped your fingers to achieve this. I did. They're going to go on each side of the ear. Here we have lymph nodes in front of the ears and behind the ears. So you're going to gently press them with these two fingers, and then behind the ears, these fingers are pushing behind the ears. You can't quite see it because of my hair. But what we're going to do is just gently rub 10 times here. I often have a hard time keeping my eyes open with this one because it feels so nice. So what we're doing here is we're stimulating lymph nodes in front of the ears and behind the ears so that that fluid can flow downward. Give that 10 times. Good. Now we're going to actually start working to move the fluid out of the face. Did you notice the order of operations? We don't go top down. We have to make sure that we open the drain plug before we start moving things down. So now we get to do the face. We're going to start bottom up, start with the chin, and you're just going to gently stroke from the center, always moving up to these lymph nodes right here that sit right there in front of the ear. So just open hand, stroking 10 times. Then we're going to do above the lips here. Same thing. I kind of like to follow the curve of my cheekbone right here and come up. Again, always pushing towards the front of the ear. That's where that fluid is going to end up going. Then we come below the eyes here and just gently under eyes. And this one be so gentle with because that tissue is so sensitive. So 10 strokes there. And we're going to come up to our forehead, push it all around and down, round and down. There we go, making that letter M, pushing it to our ears. Okay, I'm enjoying this. I hope you are. It feels so good. Now we've moved all the fluid back to these lymph nodes, so we're going to push everything back down again. So get your Ninja Turtle hands ready again. Let's go back and do 10 circles again. Excellent. And now we're going to bring that back down through the neck. Oftentimes on the way down, I will cup my hand a little bit and then move towards the back of the neck a bit more. So in the beginning, we were getting some of the front of the neck. With a little cup, you can do the back and the side. Either way's right. See what feels right to you. If you do that way, though, you often have to do one side at a time. So try both ways. See what feels nice for your body. Pulling that fluid down, 10 strokes each side. And then we finish up where we started. 10 strokes here on the collarbone. So I will often do this in the morning when I wake up. I'll do it before bed. I can do it during the day if I notice I'm extra puffy. I always notice after doing this that I do visually notice a difference in the drainage, and maybe not immediately, but later throughout the day, I'll notice that things aren't as puffy. It does help a lot with sinus pressure. If you are prone to premenstrual headaches, this can be a game changer because the headaches often come from those areas being compressed and creating that backup of lymph in the head. So this is great for those headaches. This is a really good tool that you can use daily. Of course, we always want to figure out why your thyroid is blocked to begin with. So this overrides a block system, and it can help even if you're taking medication that perhaps isn't quite taking care of your symptoms or getting rid of the issues. Of course, our ultimate goal is to find out what is blocking your thyroid from working. So just like we talked about fluid collecting in your face because the blockage is here at the collarbone, the same thing happens with thyroid hormone function. If your thyroid hormones aren't working, there's a blockage far away from this little gland in your neck. And most times we see that lower in the body, usually with the liver, the gut, or the adrenals. So instead of guessing at what supplement or diet to try next, we can test. And I use a very simple in-home urine test with my clients to uncover exactly what is blocked so that we can target a protocol for that thing and get these things moving out of your body so your thyroid can start functioning optimally and you can get back to feeling like yourself. So if you want to learn more about that, I'll drop the link here below this video where you can book a call with my team to learn more about our testing and system, and we can help you find some real answers. All right. Thank you for joining me. I hope this is helpful. Drop in the comments if you try this and you notice some positive improvements. I'd love to hear. All right. Talk to you soon.